Hi, welcome to Zgadgetreview. Last week, Yamaha announced their brand new AV receivers for 2021. Now is Denon and Marantz's turn. Let's start with the Denon model. The Denon model will support HDMI 2.1 features without any issues. Unlike last year's model, it is also going to come ready out of the box with all the features that you need to make use of your brand new next-gen console. The Denon model for this year is going to be the X8500HA, and it's going to be a 13.2 channel. So it's going to support 4K 120Hz refresh rates, 8K 60Hz refresh rates, Dolby Vision HDR10+, Dynamic HDR HLG. Now this receiver is going to be available sometime in June. Now the receiver is going to be $4,500, going to come out sometime within the month of June. You can go to their website for more information. I will have the link in the description section. Now up next we have Marantz, and that one's going to be the AV8805A, and the features are 13.2 channel processing and full 8K pass-through capabilities, 4K 120Hz. It will support HDR, HLG, Dolby Vision HDR10+, Dynamic HDR, of course Dolby Atmos as well. So this is also going to support all the features that you can imagine, also HDMI 2.1 features without having to worry about getting an update later on. It's all going to be ready. The Marantz is going to come out to $4,799, so $4,800. It's also going to be available sometime within the month of June. The most interesting thing is that if you bought the receiver from 2018, I think it was, which is actually the same model number as this one's without the letter A at the end of it, you will be able to get an upgrade to HDMI 2.1. Those receivers were HDMI 2.0. You can get an upgrade to a HDMI 2.1 board on your old receiver. The models that apply for this offer are the Denon AVR X8500H and the Marantz AV8805. Now this isn't going to be a free upgrade. If you want to take advantage of the upgrade, it's going to be $600 in order to switch the board within your old receiver. Technically the idea is you don't need to spend another $4,000 in order to get a receiver that's HDMI 2.1 compatible. All you have to spend is another $600 on top of that $4,000 and change your rate spent for your receiver in order to get the upgrade, which is actually a pretty good deal if you think about it, because you already have pretty much everything that the current receivers will be offering minus the HDMI 2.1 board. So you will be able to do that upgrade for $600. The small annoyance of doing that though is that of course you're going to be without your receiver. So the process seems to be pretty simple. You will fill out the forms and everything you need to do. They will send you a box so you can ship out your receiver. They say that they will do the repair within 48 hours or the upgrade within 48 hours. But then you got to account also for the shipping time and, to the facility. And then from the facility, once the repair is done, back to you. So we'll say you got a plan for being without your receiver for at least a week. And obviously, I'm assuming that they don't do any repairs during the weekend. So if you fall on the weekend, it might be even longer. My recommendation is to go to the website, read up, see what it takes. When I checked out on the website, it said that the upgrade wasn't available yet, but they do have the page live. So if you want to read up on that, again, I will have information in the description section. I wonder why other companies aren't able to do something like this. I think it will be very helpful for people to be able to do an upgrade on the receivers that are able to get an upgrade on the motherboard that has the HDMI port. I mean, technically it's hardware and software. Once you swap that up, kind of like a computer, right? An AV receiver at the end of the day nowadays is like a computer. So doing a swap like that shouldn't be too hard, and maybe this is something that could be done with other receivers going forward. Of course, there's always going to be that price cap, because if the receiver was too cheap, within what a receiver is, so if it was like $1,000 receiver, doing an upgrade on that might not be worth it for a company that makes the receiver to give you a $600 upgrade, you might as well just go and buy a brand new one. It's an interesting thing that Marantz and Denon are doing here that I hope other companies will look at and say, hey, maybe we can do that too, because receivers are really expensive. And usually when you buy a receiver, you keep that receiver for years. As I said in a previous video, I used to have an Onkyo receiver, and I think I had that receiver for like 6 years before it was time for me to change it. Like when I bought it, was at the beginning of the HD 1080p, all that, and before 4K, of course. That's kind of the whole idea. You buy a receiver and you hold on to it for a few years. So it's kind of like an investment that you make into a receiver, which is also why a receiver costs so much money, because something you're going to be holding on to for a few years. And because of that reason, it will make sense that a company will offer some sort of upgrade to their current customers, to try to get some extra money. Those customers most likely aren't going to buy a brand new receiver. So getting an extra $600, $700 for an upgrade is more money for the manufacturer than otherwise they wouldn't be getting from you. Do you own the receivers that are listed here for an upgrade? Do you think that other companies should follow suit and offer upgrades to their customers as well? If you are an AV receiver owner, let me know in the comment section. That's it for me. Go ahead and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Go ahead and hit that bell so you can be alerted every time we have new videos. And thank you very much for watching.